Nobody expected the New York Giants to walk into Thursday Night Football and humiliate the Philadelphia Eagles like that. The streak was supposed to continue, the noise in Philly was supposed to drown them out, and the experts had already written their scripts before kickoff. But something happened that nobody saw coming. The Giants didn't just win, they broke patterns, killed narratives, and announced that this season isn't the same old story. It wasn't luck, and it wasn't a fluke. It was a statement made in prime time, on the road against a team that used to own them. The energy felt different from the first drive. Every hit had meaning, every throw carried confidence, and every player moved like they had something personal to prove. The Giants hadn't won a Thursday Night Football game in 10 years. Yet they looked like the team built for the moment. Jackson Dart led them with poise beyond his years. Cam Skattebo ran like he was trying to erase every doubt ever spoken about him. And the defense played like they'd been waiting all season for this one night. The Eagles tried to respond, but by the time the fourth quarter hit, they weren't just losing. They were broken. But here's what makes this win more than a highlight. It wasn't just about ending a streak or beating a rival. It was about discovering a new heartbeat inside this team. The offense moved with rhythm, the defense looked fearless, and the leadership felt real. The question now is simple. Where did this fire come from and who lit it? To answer that, we need to start with the man who controlled every snap and changed the entire feel of this franchise, Jackson Dart. But before we jump into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Giants and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 300 likes on this video. The New York Giants found their voice through a rookie who never looked rattled. Jackson Dart turned third downs into invitations, pressure into chances, and a loud road game into his classroom. He did not chase hero plays, he created them with clean timing, quick eyes, and calm feet. By the end of the night, it felt like the huddle belonged to him and the game moved at his speed. Here is the twist that changed everything. On third downs, he delivered at a level you almost never see, converting 11 of 14 and going 7 of 9 for 100 yards, while adding 4 runs for 28 yards and a touchdown. Pro Football Focus stamped it with an 89.7 grade, the best of any player on the field. He read leverage before the snap, reset after the snap, and spread the ball without locking on. The throw that drew a defensive pass interference at the 1, the rollout that turned into a strike to Wan'Dale Robinson, the pocket slide that kept a drive alive, each moment carried the same message: this quarterback knows where the answers are. What nobody is talking about enough is how his control lifted the whole plan. When Dart beat the rush with rhythm, the line could attack, the receivers could settle into windows, and the Eagles had to honor every blade of grass. That balance is the door to something bigger, because a poised passer creates lighter boxes and cleaner angles in the run game. If you want to see what that looks like at full speed, wait until you meet the force who cashed in on those lanes, Cam Skattebo. The New York Giants discovered a rookie running back who turns contact into confidence. Cam Skattebo did not wait for holes to appear. He created them with low pads, fast feet, and a fearless finish at the goal line. Nobody expected a first-year back to carry that much weight in a rivalry game, and that surprise is exactly what broke the Eagles' rhythm. The shocking part is how complete his night was. He scored 3 times, piled up 98 rushing yards, and ripped out nearly 80 yards after contact, which tells you defenders did not bring him down on first touch. Every carry felt productive, and the tape matched the numbers. 19 rushes, all positive plays. He set up blocks with patient steps, then exploded through traffic, and when safeties squared up, he won with balance and leg drive. It was not just power, it was control of tempo that forced the defense to squeeze inside and respect the run on every snap. What nobody is talking about is the ripple effect his style created for the entire offense. When a back keeps moving the chains, the line can fire off the ball with confidence, play action becomes sharp, and the quarterback sees cleaner windows. That is the hidden value of Skattebo. He changes how a defense must line up before the play even starts. If you want to know why lanes kept opening and why the final minutes looked so calm, look no further than the group up front that owned the line of scrimmage, led by Andrew Thomas. The New York Giants won the line of scrimmage from the first series and never gave it back. Andrew Thomas set the tone at left tackle with clean feet and quiet hands, the kind of work you only notice because nothing bad happens behind him. The pocket stayed steady, rush lanes kept forming, And by the fourth quarter, the Eagles' front looked tired while the Giants' front looked fresh. That is what real control feels like in a rivalry game that usually turns into a street fight. Here is the part that should make fans smile. The group posted an 82.2 run block mark, the best for this team since 2014, and you felt it every time the Giants called power and the pile moved forward. They closed the night the right way, with long drives that ate the clock and forced the defense to take more snaps than it wanted. Clean communication, strong double teams, and smart passes off play action turned a tough matchup into a blueprint the locker room can trust. What nobody is talking about enough is how trench dominance unlocks every other piece. When the quarterback can set his feet and the backs hit daylight, the defense plays with a lead and the pass rush turns faster. That is where the next wave of impact showed up, because the edge players took that platform and attacked it with speed and discipline. Get ready to see how Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau flipped the field on their own. The New York Giants defense played like it had a point to prove. Every snap felt like a challenge answered, every drive like a message sent. The Eagles walked in expecting space, but they found nothing but resistance. Brian Burns led the charge with relentless speed off the edge, forcing Jalen Hurts into constant hesitation. His 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and multiple pressures set the standard for how a captain leads. He wasn't chasing stats, he was enforcing control. And by the end, even the crowd could feel that number 0 had changed the entire tone of the game. The surprise came from how balanced the pass rush looked around him. Kayvon Thibodeau, no longer just a pure rusher, turned into a complete defender. He sealed edges, redirected runs, and stacked 4 pressures of his own, proving his breakout last season was only the beginning. Behind them, Dexter Lawrence clogged the middle with his usual quiet dominance, drawing double teams that freed the edges to feast. When your line forces 4 hands on one player, chaos follows for everyone else. That chaos is what buried Philadelphia's offense before halftime. What nobody expected was how coordinated it all felt. The communication from front to back was crisp, the pursuit angles sharp, and the discipline consistent. Shane Bowen's system finally clicked, mixing pressure with patience, letting the front do its work while the coverage held long enough to close drives. It was the kind of defensive unity the Giants have been waiting to see for years. But every wall needs its lock, and the real turning point came from a young corner who seized his moment and never gave it back, Cordell Flott. The moment that silenced the crowd came from Cordell Flott. With the Eagles threatening to close the gap, Flott jumped a route with perfect timing, snatched the ball, and turned it into a 60-yard sprint that flipped the game. That play wasn't luck. It was a product of recognition and trust. He knew the pressure was coming, read Jalen Hurts' drop, and broke on the ball like he had seen the play before it happened. One snap later, the Giants were setting up their 3rd touchdown, and the stadium could feel the game swing for good. What makes his performance even more impressive is how quickly he earned that responsibility. After competing for snaps all season, Flott took over the bulk of the cornerback duties and never looked out of place. His instincts in zone coverage, his recovery speed, and his willingness to tackle showed the complete picture of a corner growing into confidence. While Deonte Banks watched from the sideline, Flott turned opportunity into proof, showing that production earns playing time, not draft status. The overlooked story is how his rise steadied the entire secondary. When corners trust their technique, safeties can stay patient, and the defense moves like one body. It also validated Shane Bowen's adjustment to heavier zone concepts, where anticipation matters more than raw speed. The Giants finally looked connected on the back end, reading routes together instead of reacting late. And once the coverage held its ground, it opened the door for a few surprising faces on offense to shine in their own ways. Players who quietly changed the rhythm of the game without headlines. The Giants' win wasn't just built by stars, but by role players who filled every gap. Wan'Dale Robinson's touchdown and yards after the catch brought life back to the offense, proving he's more than a gadget receiver. Lil Jordan Humphrey made clutch grabs that kept drives alive, while Jalen Hyatt showed sharper roots and growing confidence in limited snaps. Tight end Daniel Bellinger quietly anchored the unit with blocking and reliability, the kind of effort that keeps momentum steady. Together, these 4 transformed small moments into balance and rhythm, showing that New York's success now runs deeper than its headlines. The biggest lesson is simple. The formula works when everyone owns their role. A composed rookie quarterback sets the rhythm. A fearless rookie runner controls contact. The line finishes drives, and the defense closes doors without gambling. If this spirit holds, the ceiling moves higher than anyone thought a few weeks ago. Now the question that pulls us forward. How far can that calm command at quarterback push the passing game when defenses adjust? And what new answers will he show when the pocket tests him again?